to move to the next speaker, Elizabeth Gidendu. She will be speaking on youth and marginalized community, and specifically in relation to access to land, capital, and training. Elizabeth is a researcher from University of Nairobi and also at Restore for More Drylands Transform project. She is affiliated to the University of Nairobi and Restore for More project and part of a broader initiative aimed at dryland restoration. She is also the youth representative in the Siani expert group. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Wango. Yeah, meant to speak on youth because I'm a youth, and yeah, so youth and marginalized communities. So we need the challenges that youth face are not very different from what Dr. Joan Nyika has talked about, because youth and women are often grouped into one category. So we need to understand the challenges and to be able to understand the challenges they face and unlock those challenges, in particular within the drylands. So this matters because at least 60% of East Africa's population, that is Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, are under the age of 25 years. Yet most of them are locked out of the productive resources that are present in the drylands. So having youth, especially women and indigenous groups, disproportionately affected, we deepen the inequalities that are present there. This include food insecurity and climate shocks. Some of the things that are at stake include access to, so without this access, youth are pushed out of agriculture. They are fueled into urban migration. Most of them are very unemployed, and in most instances, it will also even lead to insecurity. So excluding youth from such practices like agroforestry, it threatens the social security and sustainability of the climate adaptation strategies. So why agroforestry is a game changer for youth? It's because it offers ecological and economic resilience and it eliminates the barriers that limit their participation. So it integrates indigenous knowledge, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So many of the youth that are in the drylands, they are very self-driven and purposefully driven. You will find them doing all sorts of things within the drylands. This will include having seedling nurseries. Some are keeping bees to be able to have an alternative source of income, and some are even offering ecotourism within the limited resources that are offered unto them. So when we have such challenges, and when we're seeing youth as able to come out of these challenges that they are facing, we are able to see that the drylands becoming more climate resilient and not falling into the challenges that we are experiencing. So the key challenges that youth face, especially their access to land. So youth and women face customary exclusion from land ownership. There's weak tenure rights within the drylands. So this hinder long-term agroforestry investments. And then the other thing is financial exclusion. So they have limited access to credit, subsidies, and green finance. So this or agroforestry value chain. So this prevents adoption of agroforestry practices. And then there's training gaps. When we have the extension services or any sorts of training, youth are not very much included. So this deprives them of the opportunity they would have had to be able to overcome the challenges that they face them. So since they're underserved by the extension services, then we find them going back to unemployment and even crime. Next slide, please. So some of the policy opportunities for youth, so we can secure access to land, so we can fast track community-based land registration for youth and women. We can have youth-focused climate funds, startup grants, and agroforestry microloans. So for instance, the picture on that side is a group of youth that came together, and with the little resources they had without any external funding, and they're able to set up such a setup, and they're able to earn an income from that. And beyond the income, they're able to enhance the resilience of the drylands, because most of the tree seedlings that are there are the ones that are good for the drylands. So we can also embed agroforestry in rural schools. So beyond it just being for training in extension services, we can incorporate it into schools from the primary level to the secondary and eventually into our colleges. And then we can also engage youth in policy co-creation and monitoring. So at both local and national levels, because right now, youth are very well educated, and what they lack is the opportunity, and what they need is that opportunity. And once they have it, then they're able to run with it. So what's next? So we need to include youth and marginalized voices, not just as an option or not just to meet a quota that we need to engage the youth. It's time to invest in them as primary drivers of dryland transformation, because considering their more than half of the population within the drylands, then it means that they are key participants and they hold as much right as anyone else. And without land, capital, and training, they really can't plant trees, because they really don't see it as their future. And what we risk is the picture we are seeing on our left. It will be our future without including youth. So including marginalized voices in agroforestry policy design, it's a necessity at this point. We have to ensure that we have dedicated budgets within our project. And it's very nice for example, the projects in Drylands Transform and Restore for More. Youth are very much included. During our field visits, during the inception of the programs, we make sure that we have youth and women, and because of the customary and the cultural practices, we will tend to have them in separate groups so that they're able to speak freely without fear of castigation or recoil from the rest of the society. Including them in extension services and land reforms has to start from grassroots. We cannot scale agroforestry if the scale is not equitable. It's impossible to scale when we're only focusing on one side. So thank you so much.